Tonight, WSU's Panhellenic Council reaches their goal of building a school for girls in Africa.
And an update on the tragic murder of a former Pullman High School track star.
And also, I went to the Moscow ice rink to find out some surprising news. Murrow News 8 starts now.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Bradley Warren.
And I'm Bree Childress. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Some of our very own Cougs are making a difference beyond campus. We're going to go right now to Aijane Taylor, who joins us live about how the Panhellenic Council plans to build a school in Malawi. Aijane?
Thanks, guys. You know what? It may be a cloudy day on the Palouse, but you can't rain on their parade because this philanthropy project sits as the largest in the program's organization's history. The idea came simply from members bouncing around ideas to see which projects they could support.
When considering a chance to build a school in an impoverished country, the idea really resonated with the sorority community. Now a group will travel to Malawi during spring break. The group will partner with Circle of Sisterhood, a national nonprofit sorority organization.
Everyone's super excited about it. It's kind of a thing that all 14 sororities can do, which is very different. Normally everyone's working on their own individual philanthropies, so it's nice to have something that we can all work together as a community.
This will not feel like a vacation to Malawi. Each person will dig for multiple hours a day, make cement, make bricks, carry rocks, and much more. Although the work will prove difficult, the program will still provide time for the women to immerse themselves in Malawi culture. Each girl will have a host family, will eat locally, and attend education workshops in addition to their service.
During the week of Apple Cup, the WSU Panhellenic Council plans to have a friendly competition with University of Washington's Panhellenic Council, who also plan to build a school next semester to see who can raise the most amount of money. The losing team will have to donate some of their money to the winning team's project. From Terrell Mall, I'm Aijane Taylor, Murrow News 8.
Thanks, Aijane. New Dean of Students candidate Douglas Stove travels to Pullman for his very first view of campus and to talk about his goals for his prospective appointment. In his conference, Stove said that the Drive to 25, WSU's goal to become a top 25 research institution by 2030 would require a cultural shift on campus, which he believes has already begun. Stove said in a quote, "Everybody has to be a leader, everybody has to be a participant, and everybody has to be willing to moving in the same direction." Stove said his goals include improving graduation rates along as first year and second year retention.
Former classmates of Lauren McCluskey will host a second vigil for her next Thursday, November 1st, at the Pullman High School track. The former Pullman track and field athlete, whose ex-boyfriend killed her earlier this week at the University of Utah, sparked national outrage against administration from her university, who people believe mishandled her case. The university has allowed a private investigation to begin for the murder.
And this is a spooky one. Orton Haunted Hall will return to campus tomorrow night and tonight, starting from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. This marks the 22nd anniversary of Orton Hall, which will feature a murder mystery party and a horror escape room alongside other fall mini fun. If you are wanting to reserve a time for the escape room, just go to OrgSync and fill out the information there, or you can just feel free to show up and sign up at the door. To enter, you only need to bring either $1 or a can of food. All products collected will go to benefit Cougs Feeding Cougs, and the Trio Support Food Services on campus. And after this season, the Moscow ice rink may shut down for good. I went there to find out the cause. When I arrived at the Palouse ice rink this morning, I expected to find kids excited about ice skating, hockey, and curling, but what I soon discovered was the ice rink itself is in jeopardy of going out of business. The Moscow ice rink has been open for many years, but it soon may be closing its doors. The roof itself has surpassed its 10-year limit and is currently 18 years old, and the city's special zoning permit is about to expire. And the cost to make these updates to build a new rink, well, it's a lot.
We are desperately in need of improvements here. This was constructed by a grassroots community effort.
Now with the new roof, new locker rooms, and adjusting the rink to be regulation size so they can play normal high school hockey games, the cost is pretty high.
We're guessing $5 million.
Now, the people I spoke with today here at the Palouse Ice Rink tell me the rink itself isn't just a place to come and play hockey or do public skate. It's a place where friends are made, and without it, it would be a total blow to the Moscow community.
Hockey is my fountain of youth. It keeps me young. My teammates, my friends, everybody in Adult Rec League pretty much knows each other, and it's a great social event.
The rink currently only has about $1.2 million. They have to raise the money by next spring.
If we don't come up with somewhere close to $5 million, I would not expect us to be here.
Reporting from the Palouse Ice Rink, I'm Bradley Warren.
It's like the best experience of mine.
Murrow News 8.
Thank you for that story, Bradley.
It was an interesting one for sure.
And when we come back, new information on what Pullman police will do on Saturday to help prevent drug abuse.
And a project developed by WSU researchers that could save lives.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
WSU researchers recently developed a sensor that detects diseases like diabetes and cardiac issues using sugar. The sensor also measures blood pressure and heart rate, although researchers incorporate the use of biofuel cells already. The integration of them with electronics makes for a newer approach to finding solutions for cardiac diseases. The sensor also consumes a very small amount of power, allowing it to work inside the human body. Developers have not tested the unique sensor inside a human body yet, but they plan to soon. And Pullman Police Department will celebrate National Prescription Take Back Day on Saturday in an effort to prevent pill abuse and theft. They plan to collect unused or expired prescription medications to properly dispose of them. You can drop off your medications from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. either in Rosers in Moscow, Harvest Foods in Potlatch, Kendrick City Park, and the Genesis Food Center, or the Linus Club in Troy. As a reminder, Pullman Police have a prescription drop-off box available 24 hours a day in their station lobby. The company behind the overdose reversing drug Narcan plans to make free doses of its product available across the nation. Last year, 48,000 people died of opioid overdose. Inhaling the drug Narcan can immediately reverse those effects. Now the drug is available to every public library and YMCA across the country. Emergent Biosolutions, the makers of the drug, made the announcement Wednesday after President Trump signed a measure to confront the opioid crisis, now the deadliest drug epidemic in U.S. history.
Well, good that we're getting that taken care of. And when we come back, we're going to have a quick look at some rain showers that are going to interrupt our Halloween weekend.
Feel the
Well, this weekend's forecast is looking pretty spooky. Bree, what are you going to be for Halloween?
You know what? I was thinking that I would go as a chef, Bradley, but let's take a look at the weather now with Jenny. Jenny, what are you going to be for Halloween?
You know, I do not know what I'm going to be for Halloween yet, but I will let you guys know shortly. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. You know, if you look at the weather out there today, it's about 53 degrees and showers are looking to increase as we move into tonight. Make sure when you do head out for Halloween this weekend, you grab a jacket. If we look at our state map, you can see that pretty average temperatures for the state for this time of the year. It's looking to get colder as we move to the west side. So if I were you, I would grab your rain boots and your jacket as you head home this weekend. And hopefully it won't last that long, but we will not know quite yet. If we look at tomorrow, it is going to be an average of 50 degrees, a pretty chilly day. So if I were you, I'd stay inside as we watch all of our Cougar teams compete in California. Hopefully they bring some of that warm weather and sunshine back, but we will not quite know yet. Hopefully that comes with a wind as well. Looking at our 5-day forecast now, you can see that the cold temperatures will only continue as we head into next week. Rain showers will also increase, so if I were you, I would grab some wool socks and your rain jacket as you make your way to and from campus. Everyone stay safe this weekend, have a spooky weekend, and happy Halloween. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, a spooky weekend it sounds like. After the break, a heartwarming story of a little cat making her way home after many years of separation.
Son, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
After 6 years, an Indiana man's cat returned home. Diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2012, Jonathan Gula's cat, Julie, got out of the house and never came back. Flyers went up around the neighborhood, but nothing. Recently, someone across town found a cat and posted pictures online years after the cat went missing. Thinking he would never see Julie again, now all his dreams came true. Jonathan survived cancer and found his best friend.
Oh, that's so cute. Well, we've got G here with us. Guillermo, what's going on in the world of sports this weekend?
So we got updates on Cougar football, Cougar volleyball, Cougar soccer, but I don't see anywhere in here Skating America. Tell me a little bit more.
Skate America happened last week, and this weekend is Skate Canada, and it's going to be a great weekend of skating, so I'm super excited to watch that myself. But football's great. Well, thank you everyone for watching us and joining us here. You can watch every night at 7 and 10 p.m. Pullman's only local nightly newscast.
Have a great night, and don't forget to follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
Good night, Pullman. Happy.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is your weekly sports update on WSU's Cougar Corner.
And now we welcome you to WSU Cougar Corner on Murrow News 8. I'm Guillermo Mota.
And I'm Patrick Gerardis. Thanks for joining us.
1 year after upsetting number 5 USC in Pullman, WSU dominated number 12 Oregon in the first half and held on in the second, and to win their 11th consecutive game at Martin Stadium and their 4th straight over Pac-12 North rival Oregon Ducks by a score of 34-20 in front of a sold-out Martin Stadium after the madness of College Game Day. Speaking of game day, thousands of people woke up early Saturday morning to attend ESPN College Game Day's first ever show at Washington State, and almost 2 million more caught the 3-hour program on television. The ESPN crew in town, Pullman became the epicenter for national attention. Thousands of tweets surfaced recognizing the WSU football team and also the city of Pullman and everyone's favorite cheese, Cougar Gold. The Cougars gained even more attention the following day as they jumped 11 spots in the latest AP poll, jumping to number 14.
Some interesting shakeups in the Pac-12 football standings this week with 5 nationally ranked teams at the top. In the North, the Washington Huskies lead the pack at 6-2 with the Cougs sitting in second at 6-1. One thing that caught the eyes of Cougs, WSU ranks 1 spot ahead of UW at 14 in the national rankings. They get bragging rights for now. Number 24 Stanford and number 19 Oregon trail at 5-2. In the South, number 23 ranked Utah leads the division at 5-2, ahead of 4-3 USC and Colorado coming in at 3rd. With the Cougs already getting their 6th win, a handful of bowl projections dominate the discussion in the college football realm. ESPN analysts project Washington State to appear in the Rose Bowl with Ohio State. The seemingly endless domination of Alabama sees them in the Cotton Bowl against the Michigan Wolverines, and Clemson and Notre Dame facing off in the Orange Bowl. The national media projects Alabama and Clemson as the favorites to appear in the national championship this year. With the Cougs climbing the rankings and still hoping for a playoff berth, the Heisman Watch added a Coug to the list. Quarterback Gardner Minshew showed up as 8th on the new Heisman list. Experts predicted WSU to finish 5th in the Pac-12 North, but Minshew has led them to a 3-1 record in conference, placing them in a tie for 2nd place and in control of their own destiny. Minshew leads the nation in passing yards per game and ranks 4th in passing touchdowns. He has done this with the fewest returning starters in the Pac-12 North, 5 new coaches, and the death of Tyler Helinski weighing on the program.
It's got to be the stash. After the big win last week over the Cougs now head to California to take on number 24 Stanford. Matt King joins us with the preview of the game. Matt.
Thanks, guys. The Cougs come off a high after the big week last week with College Game Day and the big win over Oregon. But things don't get easier for the Cougs taking on another top 25 team, Stanford. This year, Stanford, however, throws the ball much more than previous years. Running back Bryce Love has played hurt all year, which has forced the Cardinal to rely on quarterback KJ Costello. They have also received a boost from breakout wide receiver JJ Arcega-Whiteside. However, the Cougs have the keys to take down the Cardinal this week by potentially striking early and fast with their offense led by quarterback Gardner Minshew. The offensive line remains dominant, allowing just 5 sacks and 375 dropbacks. The Cougs have won 2 straight against Stanford and remain the Pac-12's last hope for the college football playoff. The game kicks off at 4 on Saturday. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Matt. When we come back, an update on the McCluskey shooting.
And coverage on the Pac-12 cross-country championship when Cougar Corner returns.
Did you hear about the shooting?
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
The family of recently deceased Pullman alum Lauren McCluskey held a prayer vigil Wednesday night at the Pullman High School track. The crowd walked the track to symbolize her commitment to her sport. McCluskey set the Pullman high record in the 100-meter hurdles and won state in the high jump. A second vigil will take place at the Pullman High School track this coming Thursday at 6. Men's and women's cross-country team competing in their 6th meet of the year today, the Pac-12 Championship in Stanford, California. The women's program came to the meet at 14th overall in the latest West Region ranking. The men's team checks in at 17 overall in the track and field cross-country coaches association poll. Check our Facebook and Twitter pages for updated race results.
The late-night downpour did not drown out the Lady Cougars as they came out victorious, 4-2 over the California Golden Bears last night. Cougars rode the emotional return of senior defender Maddie Harrow after overcoming a neck injury last week to an early lead. But the game turned into a nail-biter at half as the teams were tied 2-2. Junior forward Morgan Weaver and sophomore midfielder Sydney Pulver closed the game for the Cougs, putting them up 2 goals over the Bears in the last 10 minutes of the game. The Cougars now prepare to play #1 ranked Stanford at home this Sunday. Coming up next, a look at what impacts donations to the Cougar Athletic Fund.
And an update on Cougar volleyball after their big weekend against USC when Cougar Corner returns. Are you going to the game this weekend?
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash, 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Volleyball had a tremendous weekend against USC, beating them in a nail-biting 5th set that ended in a score of 18-16. McKenna Woodford had a career high in single-match kills with 23. The Cougs went on to sweep UCLA on Sunday. WSU has not swept a weekend series over USC and UCLA since 1997. This week, the Cougs swept Utah on Wednesday behind Penny Tusa's 15 kills in the match, also seeing her set a career high in match kills. The Cougs look to continue their 3-game win streak on the road tonight against Colorado. The Cougar Spirit.
The Cougar Spirit continues to run deep. A recent Twitter poll looked at the most favorite college football teams across the country. The Cougars appear at the top of the list with around 56% of tweets surrounding WSU football expressing positive feelings, and only 10% negatives for Stanford. The Cougars opponent this week came in at 17 with 20% negative tweets. With women's soccer, women's volleyball, and Cougar football in full swing and at the top of the Pacific 12 standings, Noah Schmidt tells us about how the successes of the 3 sports contribute to the fundraising to the Cougar Athletic Fund's capital projects.
Donations? Cougar Athletic Fund internal operations intern Paul Theta says good performance from your athletic programs helps the cash flow.
I think that definitely performance is pretty big on, how, the attitude of the fans in general, Sometimes they'll be like, oh, you guys are this, I'm not going to give you money for that, or, if you're doing well, they want to give more money.
Washington State women's volleyball boasts a 13-3 record. Women's soccer tied a program best 10 consecutive wins this season, and Cougar football holds an impressive 5-1 record overall. Theta says the fall sports achievements thus far help kickstart fundraising for the Cougar Athletic Fund this quarter.
We do bus tickets that go from Spokane to Pullman, every single one of those sold out already. The phones will be off the hook those weeks, It's just definitely a lot more busy. Everyone's stressed, everyone's like, make sure you do your stuff on time.
According to a letter from Athletic Director Pat Chun, the Cougar Athletic Fund has raised nearly $10 million for Project Back to Omaha. The goal? To make Bailey Brayton a state-of-the-art facility and get the Cougs back to the College World Series. Athletic marketing intern Devin Adams says she can't see the baseball field from where she works, but the field itself frustrates her the most.
I think that baseball field looks like a high school baseball field. I'm pretty sure my high school has a better baseball field than that. And it's really just for a team that was actually doing somewhat decent last year, they deserve a better field. And with a school that's all about football, it's kind of nice to give back to other sports.
The Washington State Board of Regents gets the final say before actions can take place to renovate Bailey Brayton Field. But to speed up fundraising for a project like Back to Omaha, the successes made by the fall sports came at the right time. Noah Schmick, Murrow News 8.
Thank you, Noah. Coming up next, a look at Cougar athletes making waves in the pros.
Stay tuned.
Who's your favorite?
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Whoa, whoa, can you feel the sun?
Now to take a look at our Cougs in the pros. Klay Thompson shook off a minor ankle injury to suit up and tally a season-high point total on Wednesday for the Warriors. Thompson registered 19 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal during Golden State's 144-122 win against the Washington Wizards. Quarterback Luke Falk is currently on injured reserve for the Miami Dolphins with a wrist injury.
And Klay is really killing it, and I hope he gets better so he can score more points this season than he did last year.
Me too, man. Me too.
That is all we have for you today in this edition of Cougar Corner on Murrow News 8.
Join us every Friday night, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
And don't forget, go Cougars! Wow! That's the Cougar sound to you?
No. I just